Hey, thanks for watching. So in this video, I'm just going to go over some of the trucks that I've had in the past, what I liked about them, what I didn't like about them, and tell you about the trucks that I'm skating right now. So as you can see, I have 4 completes at the moment. I know, it's kind of crazy. They're all different sizes, all different makes of decks for the most part, different wheels, but they all have Ace trucks. Now, this is an 8.0. And I'm skating the Ace 33. These are hollows. This is an 8.25, so these are the Ace 44s. These are the standard non-hollows. 8.5 deck, so these are the Ace 55s, standards. And then this is my cruiser slash filmer deck. It's got the big soft wheels. These are the Ace 77s, and I think they measure at 9.5. But yeah, so these are all Ace trucks. So I guess I'm an Ace guy now, but I wasn't always. If you look over here, this is the graveyard of trucks past, and there's a lot of Indys in there. And so I'm going to explain why I loved Indy trucks, why I skate Ace trucks, what I like about each of them, what I may not like as much, and then just go over a few other things. Where to begin? Oh, shoot. This is 15 sets of trucks. It's not every set of truck that I've had in the past. I did have some Fury trucks growing up. I had some Tensors, and my first set of trucks were actually some Ventures. I don't have those anymore, but these are most of the trucks that I've skated. So the oldest set of trucks are going to be these Destructos. Does anybody remember Ragdoll? So I don't really know what to say about these. I think Destructo, we're kind of going after Indy. They look identical to Indys. I don't know the height or the turning. I mean, I had these 20 years ago. I just thought they were super punk rock, and I liked Ragdoll at the time. They're probably 7.5 inches wide, which is on par for 2005. I liked them. I don't really remember how they turned, but I skated them quite a bit. So those are the oldest set of trucks. After that, it would be these Thunders. Leo Romero Thunders. Now, he's been on Indy for a really long time, so these are very old. I think 2007. I'm not a Thunder guy. I've never skated a set of Thunders that I liked. Pretty much everyone who skates for the shop that I work at and works at the shop, they all skate Thunders, and they're just not for me. They don't turn the way that I prefer trucks to turn. I do remember that the kingpin stuck a lot on these. It's pretty grinded down. And I remember just getting caught on feebles on these a lot. They're lower, so if you're a technical skater and you want your tail to tap faster, then Thunders are good for that. I'm not saying that Thunder trucks aren't good trucks. They're just not my preference. A lot of good pros skate Thunders. A lot of good friends of mine skate Thunders. They just don't do it for me. But I've kept these because I like Leo. The oldest set of trucks that are Indys would be these Reynolds. I was looking through an old magazine, and I think these are stage 9s, maybe? I got these in probably 2008 or 2009. They're not hollow, standard. I do remember I liked these. I got these from Utility Board Shop in Upland, RIP. And yeah, these are probably the first set of Indys that I actually remember picking out on purpose and buying them because they were Indys and because they were Reynolds trucks. That's that. Next set, my younger brother bought me a complete after I had kind of dipped out of skating for a bit, and he was trying to get me back into it. These are the Reynolds hollows. Hollow axle, hollow kingpin. Look at that. Look at all that missing aluminum. A lot of feebles. A lot of crooks on the front truck. Big fan of Reynolds. Big fan of his trucks. These were great. These are 139s. And next set was the identical truck. Yeah, a lot of crooks. A lot of Feebles. I don't really remember the order of these, but I do have 5 sets of Indys standards. Again, a lot of Crooks. A lot of Feebles. Same here, same here. A lot of Axle. These ones too. Oh, and then these are probably the most grinded down. A lot of crooked grinds. And then back truck. Look at that. A lot of Feebles. A lot of 50/50s on cement. So yeah, it's kind of like a little truck graveyard. Over here I have some non-grinded down Indys. These are some 215s that I had on a cruiser. I wasn't really into it, so I took the bearings out and the bushings, and I'll get back to these someday. Didn't want to leave them out. These gotta be 149s because they don't have the double drilled holes. Again, this was like a Filmer board cruiser. These still have a lot of life, so these will just go back in the closet for now. These are some 129s that I might use on a board for my wife or my son one day. And that brings me to these guys. So this was my first set of Ace trucks. These are the 33s, standard AF1s. So not the hollows, but not the old Aces. These are the ones that they introduced maybe, I don't know, maybe 4 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago. I'm not sure. It took me a bit to try them out. But I know I got these about 3 years ago, probably skated them a year. So why the switch? Why all these Indys and then now these Ace trucks? Really, it was curiosity. It was hearing about the AF1 truck coming out and just wanting to try something new. I really, really enjoy the Ace trucks, as you can tell by the 4 setups currently equipped with Ace trucks. Okay, so get to the point. Why Aces or Indys? So I don't think that one truck is better than the other, and it's really just about what truck works best for you. Indys turn great. They have a nice deep turn. Ace have those that same nice deep turn, but it's a little bit, people say, maybe squirrely or wobbly, and that all has to do with the geometry. You can get real nerdy and specific and talk about the measurements and the slope of the kingpin and the pivot cup and all that stuff, but just know that I tell people, think about a car and how a small car with a tight turning radius can make a U-turn really well. I would say that Aces turn the quickest. When we talk about the height of the truck, it's this measurement. It's the axle to the ground. Now on Indys, it's 55 millimeters. Now that doesn't mean anything unless it's put into context. So to make that understandable and why that matters, Ace trucks are 53 millimeters tall. So that's 2 millimeters difference. You can see that right here. If you're used to skating a specific size of wheel on an Indy and then you skate Ace trucks, you're going to want to just be aware of that. If you're a bigger guy or you skate loose trucks, you may encounter some wheel bite. If that's not you, then you're all good. Really briefly, just talk about wheelbase. I'm not going to get into it too much, but I just wanted to point out that these two decks have a very different wheelbase. You can tell because the back axles are lined up, back trucks, and then if you look at the front trucks, this one is much longer. You can tell this distance, looks like it's almost an inch, and that's quite significant. I know that the Black Label decks typically have a 14.5, but this might actually have a 15-inch wheelbase. And I know for a fact that this Lovesick deck has a 14-inch wheelbase. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because the way Ace trucks are set with the axle in relation to the hardware is basically Ace trucks shorten your wheelbase by a little bit. I think it might be just 1/8 of an inch compared to Indys. But yeah, keep that in mind, because if you have a short wheelbase deck with Aces, it's going to be even shorter. And if you have a long wheelbase deck with Indys or Thunders, it's going to be even longer. Indys and Ace trucks, they're both really good trucks. Again, I could go on forever. Obviously, I'm a big fan. I've had about a dozen sets of these, but I currently have 4 decks set up with Ace trucks. So really quick, to sum it up, they both turn really good. They both grind super good. I think Ace trucks are a little bit more responsive and turn a little bit quicker. One drawback is I've noticed that on manuals, it's almost too much. I noticed that my manual tricks did kind of suffer. Maybe it's because you put all your weight onto one truck, but yeah, it's almost too wobbly. Skate what you want. This isn't to convince you to skate these. This is just to kind of nerd out and talk about trucks. Oh, one thing I'll say is a common complaint, or I guess concern, is that the Ace bushings can be a little soft. And so after the first set, what I do is I immediately replace them with the hard bushings. And the Ace hard bushings are not really hard. They're not like the Indy hard bushings or the Thunder hard bushings. They're still pretty soft. So if you get the Ace standards or Ace hollows, just swap out the bushings. It's like $6 for bushings. I know it sounds silly to buy more stuff after you just bought trucks, but it kind of breaks down, or kind of eliminates the overly wobbly sensation and just makes it a little bit more stable, but you still get that turn when you want it. Yeah, enough of me yapping about trucks. I hope that was decipherable or discernible, and I hope you got something out of it. Thanks for watching.